All right, Angie is in the house. Hey, Angie.
Hey, how are you?
Good,
Hey,
thanks.
hey, I have a question for you. I have
Sure.
pulled four men off of the Facebook dating app.
Okay.
Um, I chose to let three of them go. Um, one of them that I am seeing, it was like instant connection with us. Okay,
Okay.
total instant connection.
Okay.
Sparks were there, everything's good. I told him that I wanted to him to call me every day. That's
Okay.
one of my rules. I want text every day.
Okay.
Okay. And I want a date once a week. Okay. So he finally started doing this with me. It took maybe 2 or 3 weeks. We have not been intimate yet. Okay.
Okay.
I've found out that we've been together since the end of August.
Okay.
I mean, no, the end of July. We've been together
Okay.
since the end of July. Okay, we
Okay.
went
Two
out on
months.
4 dates so far.
Okay.
Um, he does have business that he attends to, in North Carolina and places like that are not near me. So he does take off for several weeks at a time.
Okay.
But my question is I found out about him was that he was married for 30 years.
Okay.
He ended up divorcing his wife.
Okay.
He lost a home in the divorce.
Okay.
He is now living in his wife's home that he has paid for.
Okay.
They have a grandchild that she is forcing him to watch every other week.
Okay.
Okay. And I just found all this out that he doesn't really have the means, and I don't know if I should allow him to move in with me, which I wouldn't care if he did.
Okay.
That's not a problem with me. But when I asked him yesterday about where does he want to go in the relationship, he says, let's just take it slow, spend more time together, and see where it goes."
Okay.
um it's like his ex-wife. They've been divorced for 8 years, but it's like his
Okay.
ex-wife still has control over him. And
Okay.
I'm just concerned that would she still have any control if he did move in with me?
Okay.
Um, because right now he's taken off going, I'm, off for a week of work and I'm not sitting around babysitting my grandchild. The son's in the
Okay.
home. The son is 22. I'm like, throw
Okay.
the responsibility of the child on him.
Okay.
The mother of the child has taken off and abandoned the child.
Okay.
So I'm just kind of going, am I biting off more than I can chew with this guy? He's a great guy. He's got a master's degree. He's a supervisor. I mean, he had his life together for 20 years, and he found out that she had taken $45,000 of his money. She's never worked, and he just couldn't trust her.
Okay.
And he divorced her, but it seems like she has a whole lot of control.
Okay.
I mean, so am I biting off more than I can chew?
So when you say I'm biting off more than I can chew, why don't you elaborate on what that means to you?
It means is she all once he's if I can get him out of that home and that situation that he's in,
Yeah.
will she still have control over him concerning the grandchild?
Okay.
And right
So,
now he's paying the electric bill, he's paying the water bill, he's
okay.
mowing her grass, he's doing all of the maintenance to the home. He's
Okay.
taking the child to ballet once a week.
Okay.
You know what I
He
mean?
sounds like a good grandfather.
He's a great grandfather, but see,
Okay.
I think that that's the stipulation is
So
as
I
long
think
as
you're asking me the wrong question, Angie. Now, I understand where you're going. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You're trying to, when you say bite off more than I can chew, what I believe
Uh-huh.
what you really mean is, does this man have the capacity to be in a significant relationship with somebody else without being pulled by other people? I think that's your real question. Let's put that in a box for a moment because we don't know
Yes.
the answer to that yet. Okay.
Uh-huh.
I think what's more important is, why don't you describe forget this man is in your life. Pretend this is the day before you met him on Facebook dating app.
Uh-huh.
What do you want for yourself?
What I was married for 27 years, 29
Okay.
years.
Okay.
Okay. I have been we've been divorced 3 years. Okay. This is the first man that I have been really attracted to on an emotional level because I'm
By the way,
demisexual.
now, do you hear what Angie? Let me interrupt you for a second. I said, imagine he wasn't, this was the day before you met him. I want
Uh-huh.
you to describe what you want.
What I want is someone that will be there and spend time with me, be
Okay.
my partner,
Okay.
be someone that I can do things with, enjoy my
Okay.
life with.
Okay.
Um, I have grandchildren, I have children. Do I need a man to complete me? No. I mean, I've got my children and my grandchildren that I can take care of and get love from them. But I just
Okay.
want a partner in life. And I don't know at this point if I'll ever get that because he told me it cost
Well, no,
him
no, no.
half
Yeah,
a
by
million
the way,
dollars.
stop again, Angie. Angie, stop. I
Mm-hmm.
said, pretend this was a conversation you and I were having before you met him. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So I want to understand what you want. So it sounds like you want companionship, you want connection, you want physical intimacy at some point, and I suspect you want
Right.
some level of commitment. Is that right?
Right. That's
Okay.
100%
Okay.
correct.
So now we're going to evaluate whether or not he's a good candidate. Okay. Now I'm going to be candid with you. You told me in the very beginning, I expect him to call me every day. Okay. I don't like that energy. I don't like when someone tells me what to do. I'm just telling you how that feels. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Because it's not a two-lane street. Okay.
Uh-huh.
It's not, because I want someone that calls me once a day and I'm open to calling them once a day, but I don't like being told what to do, and I like a two-lane street. So I just want to tell you how I reacted when you told me that. And I
Okay.
expect the date every week. Okay. That's very controlling behavior. I just want you to know that's
Okay.
different between making a request. Okay. Because you use the word expect. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Expect isn't a request. I would love it if we speak every day is a request. Then it doesn't matter who initiates. I would
Right.
love it if we could go out once a week together. It doesn't matter who initiates it. So that's number one. Okay.
Okay.
I wanted to address that.
Okay.
I made some notes. So now he went through, it sounds like a financial hardship in his life, and it's put him in a position where he's living with. Now, is he divorced from his ex? Okay. Is the woman, is the wife an ex-wife, and is it a legal divorce?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So there, because I suspect, now this is the tricky part. They have how long were they married for?
About 20 years.
20 years. That's a very significant amount of time that you may no longer be lovers with one another, but you can certainly be family to one another. I mean, my ex-wife and I were only married 12 years, and I consider her my family because we have 2 children together. She's not a lover, she's part of my family. So I could understand why he's moving into the home with his ex-wife, and she was agreeable to it. Okay.
No,
I'm
no,
just
no.
saying,
She lives 2 blocks away with her
oh,
boyfriend.
okay. So he just happens to live in the home. She's gifting him this home as a place to live. So that's what
Right.
family does for one another. Okay. I'm just offering an alternate way of looking at it. And she lives with someone else. Now you say
Yes.
she controls him spending time with his grandchild. Okay. Well, by the way, you controlled him by saying, I expect you to call me once a week and I expect you to date me once a week. That was a control. So does that mean, now this could mean that this man lacks backbone. Okay. I could say that he could be easily controlled by women. And it sounds like you're controlling and you have power over him because he seems to be adhering to this. I'm just offering that. Now, you said he's a great guy because he has a master's degree. Okay, let me just be clear with something. You don't know this man. You've only known him for 2 months. You have no idea of his deep, true character. So to say just because, now I know you meant beyond that, he has a master's degree means he has some level of education, but you don't know the quality of his character yet. How do you determine the quality of a person's character? Through social activities, hobbies, mutual interests, spending time with family and friends, traveling together, teamwork, building skills, both in your personal and your professional life, intimacy, both physical and emotional intimacy with a game plan. So what I suspect where he's at, though, because he said, let's just go with the flow right now. Okay. I suspect, if you listen to the part of the broadcast earlier, I suspect he's not committed to commitment. That's your real, that it's not your, you say the issue is, could he be controlled by the ex-wife? His real issue is he's not committed to commitment. You met through Facebook dating app, and he just wants somebody in his life. He's not committed to commitment. Okay. Most likely. Okay. Now, this is where you're going to be in a challenging position because you've already thought about him moving in with you. Well, I would say you should be dating for 6 months to a year before you ever consider something like that.
Oh,
and
definitely.
I would want to, so you're getting way too ahead of yourself. Now, I understand your desire to want to vet the potential of this. You said getting ahead of yourself, and I understand that piece. Okay. We don't have enough information to make that assessment. Now, there are some things that are challenging. If his financial life is in a bit of chaos, if it is, then the ground underneath him isn't solid to be in a committed relationship. What women have a propensity to do is project the future, like what you just did. You projected the future, and you're gambling. I'm rolling dice right now. You're gambling with your future, projecting his future. This is why I said it's more about you than it is about him. Now, you can certainly remain in the friend zone for a long, long time until there's real trust built between the two of you. Okay. Real trust between the two of you. I don't think you have enough trust to make any decisions. And this is why it's called dating. Do you know why it's called dating, Angie?
Hmm.
The reason why it's called dating was a very easy word to describe the following. Holy fucking shit, is insane trying to figure out another human being. But that was a turnoff. So they go, let's just call that dating. That's what dating is. You're trying to figure out another human being. You're trying to see if we're compatible with one another. You're doing all of these efforts. Now, you've said to me, you have this amazing chemistry and connection with him. Okay. You have to be very careful because that can cloud judgment. This is where we take red flags and paint them green. We wear rose-colored glasses. So my advice to you is to just get to know each other to see if you make sense from a long-term perspective. I would say the ground underneath him isn't solid right now for him to do that. He may need to take some time on his own to build his life, to be able to merge life with someone else. And you have to be careful. And a lot of people posted this comment. You have to be careful because he could take from you and you seem to be generous enough to give, and you might be setting yourself up for failure. I'm just giving you some insight here.
Okay. He told me that he has been in 4 serious relationships in 8 years.
Okay.
I'm I'm trying to
So that
figure
means he's
out
a
what
failure
he
4 times.
considers.
That means he's a failure 4 times.
He said he broke up with them because they wanted to get married and he didn't.
Oh, well then, okay. So you see, that invites deep investigation. So he obviously has a reservation for marriage for some reason, which at least is beneficial to you from the sense that he's not going to get immersed, entangled in your financial life from that perspective. But that's not, by the way, do you see what he did? He blamed them. He takes no ownership in why it ended. I said he had 4 failures. You see it as like, oh, he at least committed 4 times. I see it as 4 failures. By the way, they're not failures, but there's a deeper reason, Angie, behind why these didn't work out. And you have to be very careful not to
Yes.
whitewash those reasons. There's reasons there. I highly doubt that was the real reason. I think that could be his excuse. Okay. They wanted to get married. Well, then why didn't you want to marry them? And then he's going to say something negative about them. And I'm like, then why did you date them if they weren't marriage material? Why would you date? That's why I said he's not committed to commitment.
Thank you.
He's not committed to commitment. You there? Hello?
There you go. So do I need to dig deeper with him in these 4 relationships that
So
didn't work?
here's the challenge with what I'm about to say to
Hey,
you.
do I need to dig deeper?
Okay, so the answer is yes. And Angie, I'm going to now talk to everybody on this video, okay? So, but I'm going to use you as a catalyst. Okay. Do you need to dig deeper? Absolutely dig deeper, okay? But the reality is you're most likely going to want to see this through. You are already attached to him. Okay. You're already attached to him. So you're going to see this through. Like if I told you break up with him right now and move on, you're not going to do it. Okay. Because I highly doubt you are so in tune to your intuition, because your intuition is speaking to you. The fact that you even jumped on this video and want questions answered is your intuition goes, something's not right. Okay. Now, when something's not right, you should stop all engagement. Okay. Now, you could be a little bit more inquisitive. That's certainly something to do. But my concern for you is you're already hooked. You're already hooked. You're going to see this through. When the fact of the matter is you should have found this out way sooner, which it sounds like you did, some of it. And you should have just said no then. But it's too late right now because you're already hooked. So you're already, this is what so many women do, is they see it through to the nth degree. They spend years with the wrong person instead of truly tapping into their intuition, instead of truly tapping into their inner voice. Because you focused on him for the first 15 minutes of this conversation. I had to bring it back to you because here's what I'm inviting. And I'm saying this to everybody, Angie. I'm using you as the catalyst here. Ladies and Angie, what's most important is to become so attuned to your true alignment within yourself. And when something feels misaligned, you just go, put that in the friend zone, emotional friend zone, because you're already beyond emotional friend zone. Keep someone in the emotional friend zone until it's an actual yes. And given where this man is in his life financially, the ground underneath him doesn't sound very solid. He is not going to be a yes, hence why he says, let's just take it slow. Because the truth is, he has no commitment to commitment. Is this sinking in?
It's sinking in with me.
All right. Can I reach into the camera and give you a big, gigantic Jonathon bear hug of appreciation?
Thank you, Jonathan.
Thank you. I appreciate you joining.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye now. You know, ladies, I am so grateful for Angie for jumping on today and sharing with something that was a great learning lesson for us all. A man's capacity to be in a relationship requires the ground underneath him to be solid. If the ground underneath him is solid, he might desire companionship, connection, and sex, but that doesn't mean he desires commitment or is capable of commitment. Be careful projecting the future, just like what she did. She was already thinking about living with him, projecting a future way out, which I understand because she wants to assess whether or not it makes sense. But the problem is she's already attached to this person. So she will most likely see it through. Probably to her detriment, most likely. But hey, listen, a broken clock is right twice a day. So we have no idea whether or not this is going to turn into something spectacular. Who knows? That's why we go on this journey. But the most important part of the journey is not about him. It's about her. It's about you, Angie. And that's my invitation for you. So again, if a man's life isn't solid, it's very difficult to commit. And if that's the case and he's not committed to commitment, I would keep dating until you meet a person that is. Is this sinking in? Hey, by the way, folks, is this sinking in? Is this resonating? Please let me know if it is. I'd like to hear your thoughts. Post a comment below. As always, if you find value in this videos, please hit that like button. Please share this video. Please subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you can be notified of new videos, and hit that notification bell on your phone as well. Also, if you want to connect with me directly, there's links below to schedule a discovery call with me to see if working with a coach is right for you. There's a link to join my group called Midlife Love Mastery. There's a link to join get all the books I recommend. And before I wrap up this video, wow, Jonathan, you were kind. I like this. I'm doing better, folks, to be kinder to people. I know I've been a jackass. I know I've been cruel. I know I've been kind of a pain in the ass. Sometimes that righteous part of me comes out, and I'm working on that part of my personality as well. Hey, folks, thanks for listening. I'm going to wrap up this video as I always do. First off, giving myself a big, gigantic Jonathon Barrag of self-love. I'm going to reach into the camera and give you a hug of love if that's okay. I'm going to ask you to turn to someone, a pet, a teddy bear, a pillow, and give it or them a hug of love, because hugs are a great source of love. And let's face it, we could all use more love in our lives.